All right. Tammy, since it seems like you can chat quickly, do you mind kicking us off?
Yeah, here we go. Hi guys, how are you? I'm Tammy and I'm in Arizona and my husband's driving. So I'm on this call. This is my, I'm gonna say second full time of doing it, of the 30-day. And the program, I have fallen in love. I have fallen in love with the food prep. I've fallen in love with the recipes. I've fallen in love with the community. It's continued to keep me inspired and excited. My mom's on board. I think my sister's coming on board too. My husband loves the cooking and I love starting my day. Everybody has their morning routine, but I gotta tell you, my morning routine is I wake up, I used to drink coffee. Now it's straight, I do the tea, but I actually add the gut health to the tea for me. And then I add more water to it, whatever. And then my fizzies, and then I come home and do my shake. It's perfect. It's easy. The recipes are right at your fingertips. Joan and Trisha, whomever does the demonstrations, it's very simple and so easy and delicious. And it's great. I love it. It's been the best thing.
Yay,
Yeah.
Tammy, that makes me so excited. I should have probably been a little more official. So hi, I'm Joan. This is the kickoff to our 30 Days to Healthy Living program. And thank you, Tammy, for doing the first intro. Nicole, are you good now? You can hear and yeah, okay. You, go next. Just share, what you're excited about, why you love the program, and how you got here.
I love the program. I love inspiring others. I love eating healthy, cooking, all the stuff. I love the convenience of the Arbonne products. Love the community that keeps me coming back, the energy. Yeah, and I'm just excited to reel it back in a little bit before summer gets here. So
awesome. Nicole's super inspiring, you guys. If you don't already follow or want to be connected to her on Facebook, I highly recommend it because she's always posting recipes and inspiration and stuff like that. All right, Dawn, do you mind going next?
I do not. So this is our second time. My husband's doing it with me. And the first time doing it, we really changed the way that we ate. I love, Tammy, like you said, we love getting up and having the shake in the morning. We look forward to it. It just tastes so good. We eat a lot more vegetables. We eat a lot less normally dairy and gluten, just, because that's what we enjoyed about the 30-day. So I think we're just looking forward to doing it again, getting everything back on track. And I think that's it. Yeah, we're excited.
Dawn, I love that. Thank you for sharing what you learned previously and what has kind of stuck around, because to me, that's the ultimate goal. It's not to do something quote unquote perfectly. There is no perfect for 30 days and then be done. The goal is to practice eating healthy, setting yourself up for success, fueling your body, being intentional, practice that for 30 days. And then on day 31 and beyond, you stick with some of those things because you feel good and you want to continue to feel good, not because you're doing a diet, right? So thank you for sharing that. Hi, Laura and Brenna. I'm glad you guys are here. We're just doing quick intros. I'm going to ask Janet to go next, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
Okay.
I'm Janet Bell, and I live in Issaquah too, and met Joan a couple of years ago at another event. And she had a lot of enthusiasm for healthy eating and living. And I liked the program, and I felt like it's, I've kind of slacked off the last 6-8 months and kind of gotten into some habits that I would prefer not to have. So it gives me a fresh start. And like someone else said, I'm looking forward to summer and, fitting into those shorts and dresses that will be nice to wear. So.
Yay. Awesome, Janet. Thank you. Yeah, we met right before COVID. So it's funny. I remember those connections I made, right? Because it's like, and then I never saw her again. Awesome. Laura, do you mind going? If you can also decline if you want, but you're on mute right now. Okay, there you go. Oh, you're still connecting to audio. Hold on. Okay, Brenna, maybe you go and while Teresa's figuring it out.
So I met Joan. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, sorry, my screen is so grainy. This is an old computer. I met Joan through National Charity League. She came and spoke with us at one of our very first in-person meetings since COVID. And I just love her energy and her positivity. And I've kind of loosely committed to 4 restarts a year. And so this is a great time. It's been super stressful at our house. So I'm excited I just think this is just so necessary for my body, and we all get into bad habits, and when stress is there, it's even worse. And so I just got to get those restarts. I think 4 a year sounds reasonable to me. So I'm happy to be here.
I love that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I usually say most of my clients and friends do 2 to 3 times a year. 4 is amazing. I mean, but the thing is when you do begin to change your mindset, you are looking at it as a lifestyle anyways. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can have some, slip ups or whatever you want to call them here and there, because the majority of the time is what matters. That's what compounds, the little things you do every day, day in and day out. That's what makes up your lifestyle, and that makes up your identity. It's not I was super strict and didn't have anything for 30 days. That doesn't actually compound because it's a one-time thing. So I love that approach. Let's see, Teresa and or Laura, and then we'll get going. It's okay, Laura, if you can't, you can hear me. If you can hear me, we're all good. And then Teresa, I know do you mind sharing real quick?
Sure. No, and sorry, I'm
It's okay.
not in a great spot, but I'll say hi if you can see me, but I'm kind of in my living room.
You're cool. It's all good. It's all good.
But anyway, I'm Teresa Brochet. I found Joan via Tammy. So Tammy and I are friends for a while now. I guess my oldest daughter and hers as well. Sorry, my dog's barking. Went to elementary together. So that's how we met. But it's my first time doing this. So I'm excited just to kind of do my own little reset with you all and learn some new healthy cooking habits and just healthy eating habits. So that's it. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited to have you, Teresa. Okay, you guys, if you want to mute out now, I'm going to start like the actual presentation. You do not have to, and please feel free to unmute and ask questions as we go, because I want this to be something that is interactive and you don't feel like I just talked the whole time and you didn't get your questions answered. So please feel free to interrupt me at any time. So I am going to share my screen. Do you guys see my email and my face? Good. Okay. So you should have gotten this email. Welcome to the 30 Days to Healthy Living. This video here is a lot of what we're going to cover today. So if you haven't watched it yet, I'll probably cover everything in this, but it's also good to have the access to that video as well. If you haven't filled out the goal form, please do that ASAP. It's less for me to like think about and focus on and there is no judgment. Please know that. It's very much for you to decide like what you're doing this for and what your goal is and what you're committing to, because everybody's journey looks a little bit different. The point is not to be like, oh, well, the guidebook said this, so and she did that different. Like, it's just not about that. It's about you prioritizing your self-care. And a lot of that has to do with what we put in our body and how we view food and everything like that. So please take some time to fill out that goal form. You should be in the Facebook group. If you haven't already, please click this link. It'll ask you who you're connected to. Just write your Arbonne consultant, whether it's myself or Tammy or Nicole. And then there's also your one-stop shop for everything that you might need. So I'm going to start here. This is the one called resources, basically just the scoop. So I want to start with the philosophy, the overall, like, why would you want to do this? And it lists right here. These are some of the reasons why you might want, like some of the outcomes that you might be here for. But what I want to stress is that the outcomes are like icing on the cake. As you become empowered in the kitchen and just with healthy living in general, you're setting yourself up for a lifetime of having a healthy relationship with food, healthy thoughts about food. So it's not only just about the number on the scale and how your clothes fit. Those are benefits and those are great, but it really is about making lasting change. And like Brenna said, you could always come back in, 2 months from now and jump back in and do another reset where you're actually, refocusing and recalibrating, because summer happens, vacation happens, we have company and things get off track sometimes. So you always have access to jump back in. So what we do in the program is really help you identify how to use food as fuel, focus on fueling the body rather than just like eating for comfort or eating for pleasure. Hopefully you will find pleasure, you'll find enjoyment through the foods that you're going to eat. It's not meant to be boring or complicated. You absolutely can do simple and healthy at the same time. And it's about fueling our body, giving us the energy that we need to get through our day. So you will feel more energized, less bloated, your clothes will fit better, you'll feel more focused, and you'll start to see improvements. A lot of times skin is the number one thing that I hear people say, like within the first week, wow, people are commenting that my skin looks better. And I just think that's really telling of how important it is what we put into our body, because our skin is our biggest organ. So if you're hydrated, then your skin will be hydrated. If you're fueling your body and taking care and not putting artificial sweeteners and just junk in your body, you're actually going to be able to see that on the outside too. Everything is so connected, mind, body, and skin. So our 5 areas of focus are supporting your body's elimination organs. We do that through drinking water, making sure that we are taking in good quality nutrients, and then with some supplementation as well. We eliminate some foods that don't serve our bodies well, or they potentially might not serve our bodies well. And the truth is, you won't know until you try. Some that I know for sure are excess sugar, alcohol, and artificial sweeteners and flavors. Those for sure are not serving most bodies. And then there is a chance a lot of people experience inflammation and bloating and other negative side effects with things like gluten and dairy and soy. And so those are some of the reasons why we eliminate some of the foods we do. I'm not going to go into all of them today, but if any of these make you want to run for the hills and say, forget it, I'm out, just have a conversation with me, because it's not meant to be all or nothing. And like I said, there is no perfect, but if you can pull back on some of the things, I definitely recommend the alcohol. Just cut it out, just push the pause button. It will still be there in 30 days, I promise. That being said, if you have a wedding or like myself, an anniversary or something in the middle of the 30 days, the last thing I want you to do is say, I'm going to throw away 30 days or 29 days because one of those days I can't do quote unquote perfectly, right? So just know it's about practicing skills, lifestyle skills that will serve us forever. But these are some of the things that we will be eliminating so that we can put really high quality, good nutrients in our body and feel our best. Again, avoiding some of those common allergens, and then learning how to eat intuitively. So one of the things that I hear most often is people not eating enough. So I ask people, what's your typical day? And I usually hear, well, I send the kids out the door with a belly full of yummy breakfast and healthy lunch packed and ready to go. But for me, I don't know, I don't really think about it until maybe noon or 1 when I'm starving and I go through the Starbucks drive-through and I got a latte, maybe a protein bar, and then it's 4 o'clock and I'm shoving my face with chips and salsa and thinking about the healthy dinner that I'm going to then feed my kids. That's the typical thing that I hear. And I know that's not everybody's story, but it's just a good indication of the idea that if we're not intentional with what we're putting into our mouth, we're not setting ourselves up for metabolism that can work really well, and giving ourselves the energy that we need to get through all of the days. Along the way, as we're all adults, along the way, we stop listening to those hunger cues. Your body really does tell you what it needs, when it needs it. The more water you drink, the thirstier you will be for water. The more food you eat, the more hungry you will be at those intervals every 2.5 to 3 hours or so. Your body, it's hard to forget. So your body won't let you forget if you get into the routine of speeding up that metabolism. And then again, choosing your supplements wisely. So we'll go through this, but why I love Arbonne and why I recommend it to friends and family, and I feed it to my kids, and that's what we put in our bodies, is that it abides by the European Union. So super strict ingredient policy. There's over 2,000 ingredients that are not allowed in the products. Everything that is allowed is vegan, gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, low on the glycemic index, safe for diabetics. Like pretty much what people are looking for is Arbonne. Any questions thus far? Anybody? Okay, I'm going to fly through this. You can see what's on here. I'm going to stop at plan your plate. So there is no perfect, and there also is no right way to do it either. What I love, what I did for many, many, many years, I've been coaching a 30-day program, very similar to this, clean eating for, my daughter was in my belly and she's 17. So for almost 18 years, I've been coaching a very similar program to this, just without the Arbonne products till about 7 years ago. But what I used to try to do was say, eat this for breakfast, eat this for lunch, eat this for snacks, because I thought I was helping make things easier for people. But what I realized was that people are rebellious. They don't actually want to do what they're told. They want to be in control. And so what I love about this approach is you have a plethora of recipes and grocery shopping list and meal guides and ideas and inspiration from the resources that I've sent you, from our Facebook group, from our chat on Facebook. So you will have all of these options, and you get to choose. If, as long as it fits into those guidelines, you get to be in control. And I love that, because you're going to choose things that you like and that are satisfying to you, and that's really sustainable. That being said, we do want to try to get a balance of vegetables, protein, carbs, fat throughout the day. And of course, we're including snacks as well. I recommend anywhere from 3 to 6 meals a day, depending on your lifestyle and what works best for you. I'll show you, I've got a little bit of food prep done ahead of time, so I can show you guys what that looks like for me this week. Water, this kind of goes without saying. I recommend at least half your body weight in ounces every day. And then of course, you know, you hear some quote unquote diet programs that say, we don't recommend exercise while you're on this program. And I'm like, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. We're meant to move and we're meant to eat, and you should be able to do both of those things alongside each other. So I do recommend getting active during your 30 days. And if you need help with that, I do have virtual fitness classes that I'm opening up to our group this month for free. So if you would like to come and try Engage Fitness, I teach 6 classes a week, but there's over 80 on the schedule, and I'm opening that up to our community for the month of April. Okay, before I jump into everything else, any other questions? And I'm going to turn my screen around this way. Anybody? Okay, we're going to run through the products really quickly. So you should be able to see me here. Okay, now you guys can see me, yes? I'm going to stop my share for a sec, and then I'm going to pin me and me. There we go. Add pin. Okay, can you guys see both of me? Okay, cool. And all right. So what I wanted to run you guys through today is 3 categories here: some groceries, some food prep, and then some products. All right, so I will start with food prep. What food prep means to me is different than what it means to some people, so I just want to clear that up really quick. Food prep to me means prepping some food ahead of time so that when I'm hungry, I have something to grab and go. Some people think of food prep as chopping all the vegetables for a dinner that you might make for your family later in the week, and that's okay too. But what I want you to focus on this 30 days is putting your own oxygen mask on first before thinking about everybody else. And so if you don't have breakfast ahead of time, or if you know, making a shake takes about 1.5 minutes, so that's very easy and convenient. But if you need something that is done, you don't have time to do anything in the morning, I'm going to show you a good overnight oats recipe that you can set yourself up for. So that's what I mean by food prep. So I have a snack here. So it's just hard-boiled eggs that Costco boiled for me and packed, as well as a little Costco hummus and then some cucumbers. So that's an easy thing for me to grab tomorrow when I run out the door to do all my carpools that I could eat in the car. And then the other thing that I did today was some food prep. We're going to have a protein tonight that I will use the extras for my food prep. So I just did my veggies. So I just did a big sheet pan of vegetables. I did some sweet potatoes. I went ahead and I just put them in the microwave and then I mashed them. I actually like to use the blender so they get a little bit more creamy. And I put some cinnamon and vanilla in there, so that's delicious. And then I also cleaned out the freezer today and I found a soup that I had made last month that I now will use this week for lunches for myself. So does that help with food prep, you guys? So this is going in my fridge and I'm ready to go. Like I'll hit the ground running tomorrow, knowing that I have a few things set up. All right, I'm going to show you guys really quick. Overnight oats, super simple, dry oatmeal in a mason jar. I really like the wide mouth mason jar. If you haven't ordered banana pancake protein yet, you guys, it did not run out yet as far as I know. And it is delicious and to die for, especially for things like baked goods, muffins or pancakes, but it's really great in overnight oats as well. Okay, so regardless of the flavor, Arbonne protein makes a pudding by just adding a little bit of water and stirring. And this is one of my favorite ways. I'll do the chocolate with a little bit of almond butter mixed in, and that's a delicious dessert. Or I'll do the vanilla, make it into a pudding and put it on top of rice cakes, and then top that with some almonds or some berries, and that's a delicious snack. So we're always trying to go for balance. So for example, in this overnight oats recipe, the carbs are our oatmeal. The protein is our protein powder, which, by the way, if you're not familiar, the protein powder is made from peas, brown rice, and cranberries. The protein is extracted from each of those. Oh, I forgot my other stuff, so I'm not going to go grab it in the sake of time, but I will top this with shredded coconut and pecans. That's what I love in this one. And then I'll put a little cinnamon on top. But anyway, I'll put this in. Oh my gosh, you guys, I forgot to put the almond milk in. But anyway, I would top that with almond milk first. The oats soak up the liquid, then put the protein on top, and then stick it in the fridge. So this would be a balanced breakfast. The nuts are going to be your fat, the protein powder is your protein, and then your carbs are your oats. All right, now I will run you through some of my favorite products from the grocery store, and we'll start with Trader Joe's because that's a favorite. Everything But the Bagel is a really great, easy protein. So one of the reasons I love protein powder in general is because it's hard to get protein. You usually have to do some work to get protein. You have to cook it, but smoked salmon is a great option that you do not have to do any prep for. Trader Joe's has lots of great salad dressing options. I love the creamy dill. That's one of their new ones. Their gluten-free flatbread is amazing with some avocado or hummus on top, or maybe some smoked salmon. You can put veggies on there. I know Tammy likes to do hard-boiled eggs on top. And then the gluten-free granola is delicious. I'm pretty sure they put crack in this. And then this one's not from Trader Joe's, but this is our favorite almond milk yogurt. And I have tried every flavor and every type under the sun, and that was our favorite. All right, any questions thus far?
How much, Joan, for the overnight oats? How many oats do you put in that thing? Is it like half a cup or?
It's half a cup. So what I do is I keep my oats in a big container like this, and I keep my half cup just right inside. So it's really simple.
Okay.
And then oatmeal, one of the easiest things to do for oatmeal too is just to put a little water on top and microwave it. You can put a half a banana in there as your sweetener, and that's delicious. I like to do hot oatmeal and then put the protein pudding on top as well if I have a little bit more time. But this is great if you don't have a lot of time. You know, you want to set yourself up and have something that you can quickly grab and go.
I had a question on that too.
Yeah.
How much protein powder? Was it 1 scoop?
2 scoops is a serving.
Okay.
Yeah, so 2 scoops is a serving, whether you're making a shake or if you're making pudding. Sometimes, like in my pancake recipe, I'll say like, you know, I think it's 1/3 of a cup of egg whites and 1 scoop of protein powder. Like there are things you can do like that, but the egg whites would take over the rest of that protein allowance, if you will. Any other questions, you guys? Okay, I'm going to show you guys how I do. Well, first of all, this is how I keep organized with all of my products. So I have just a big Tupperware container, and then I use individual little mason jars to hold my fizz and my pre-workout and my hydration and all that stuff. And I want to share how I do my greens shot. Everybody does it differently. Everybody does everything differently. So what I encourage you to do is find what works best for you, what's enjoyable, what is satisfying, what fits into your lifestyle and your schedule. That way it can become part of your routine and who you are. All right, so for the greens, I get a mason jar. I do 1 scoop of the greens, and then I add the skin elixir, which doesn't come in the package, but you can add on. It's also a freebie option. I want to show you guys too, when you open your fizz, this is the correct way to do it. So you just peel, and then that creates a little opening. Anybody just have an aha moment on that? I know when I found out about that, like 4 years into trying to get the tops to pull all the way off, and they wouldn't. I was very excited. All right, so this is what I do. So I do Skin Elixir, which is vegan collagen builder. So it helps with hair and nails. My nails have never been so strong. And then I just add a little water, and I take a milk frother, and then I mix it up. And then I take it as a shot. And that is how I do my greens. And it actually tastes delicious. I actually look forward to it. I didn't used to. I used to put it in my shake, and it was too overpowering for me. I have a lot of friends and clients who do love it in their shake. So you just have to find what works for you. And then next I wanted to show my morning cocktail, which I do the Mind Health again, didn't come in your package, so you can always add that separately. But Mind Health, which is like CoQ10 and vitamins that help brain function. So I definitely can tell I can think clearer, and my memory is sharper. And then my youngest daughter, she probably has some, ADD tendencies. And she can tell that she focuses better in school when she has the Mind Health. So just throwing that out there, but I mix my gut health, my fizz, and my Mind Health all together. And that helps me get in everything in big 32-ounce amount of water. So I'm hydrating first thing in the morning, and I'm getting all my nutrients in without having to take handfuls of pills. And it's actually part of my routine that I quite enjoy. And then the gut health, you guys get it in however you can. So Tammy mentioned that she does it with tea.
Yep. Is that okay? That's what I was going to ask you.
For
I
sure.
just unmuted. So it doesn't like do anything to it to take away the.
Well, I wouldn't put it in hot piping tea, but I would put it in just the last few sips. After it's cooled off a little bit, that's totally fine.
Yeah, I mix it in usually, and for me it works, and
Yeah.
but everybody, yeah, definitely. But I gotta tell you, I love the shot that you do. That's how I learned it. Did you put it in with the skin elixir? It's a great flavor.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's an acai flavor in the skin elixir. But you guys, the gut health, in my opinion, is the most important thing. Like the protein is going to help set you up for success. It's a couple of meals throughout your day, makes your life easier. It's quick, convenient, it tastes delicious. The fizz, good, clean energy, super safe, not jittery. I'm choking on something, but in my opinion, the most important is the gut health, because most of us have imbalances in our gut health. And by taking prebiotics and probiotics and a digestive enzyme daily, you're really doing yourself a favor, because everything, like your gut regulates everything. If your gut is off, then your skin is off, your mind is off, your mood is off. So really getting that gut in check is a huge objective of the program. So just find a way to take it. I have some clients who just put it by their toothbrush and a little bathroom cup and just shoot it right before they brush their teeth in the morning. That totally works. You could throw it in with your shake. You can throw it in with tea, get creative. And I didn't mention, this is not the package you guys will recognize. This is an older package, but it's the body cleanse. We'll put these aside until week 3. We do not use those until week 3. So don't worry about those. Fiber, it's flavorless. Throw it into your shakes. What am I missing? I think that's everything. All right, you guys, we're right at time.
Joan-
Do you have questions? Yes.
Sorry, I had one more question on so I do have I don't know if it's a pre or a probiotic, but I do have one that's like a pill that is in my fridge. But I was curious, should I still take that if I take the new gut thing, or should I just take one of them, or do you know?
Would you mind sending me that? And are you on it by doctor's orders? I would want to understand. I'm certainly not going to tell you to stop something if your physician has you on something specific. If it's just like a preventative probiotic, then I would pause that and just do the gut health for the 30 days and just monitor how you feel.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Feel free to text me and send me more.
You know what? Can I say one last thing before we leave? One of the many things I've learned, but one of the greatest things I think part of that I've learned is that I've learned about my body. Like when we talk about, like you were talking about your mental health, you can tell when you've had it or when you haven't. I'm in learning how to become more in tune with what my body is telling me, what it needs, and how the nutrients and how certain foods are affecting them. And that is the whole journey that I'm trying to learn. And I like knowing what I can predict. And the littlest thing, whether I can tell if I haven't had enough water one day, I'm learning, and that's what I want to do for the next, getting a little bit older. I want to stay in tune with what I'm doing to be the best,
Totally. And it is a journey. So we will learn things this 30 days, and then we'll start to adopt those as habits. And then the next time you jump back in, you learn something new or you focus on something different. But I love that. Being more in tune with your body is definitely a goal of the program, and just in general, like something that we should all be striving for. I think a lot of people just go through life not really thinking much about what they're eating or how they're feeling or how those two things are connected. So people often complain about the same symptoms over and over again, but then put the same food in their body day in and day out. And it's like, but those things are connected. Those are related. And if you push the pause button on something that really isn't serving your body, you will then feel better. And then it's like, it's not because Joan told me I can't have wine. It's because I don't want to feel this way all the time. I want to wake up feeling refreshed and energized and ready for the day, and not exhausted and bloated and, mad or, low patience all the time.
And I was just going to add in real quick to like the fiber portion. So this is total overshare, but sometimes too much fiber, like if you're going to start that, maybe go slow, maybe not go all the way up to what they suggest and go slow. But I recently went and just did my annual checkup at the, she's no longer my OB, just the GYN lady. And she was saying that people in their 40s who've had children don't always recognize when the digestive system can impact female health. And so she said, everybody really should be taking a little bit of fiber every day, even if you're a great vegetable eater. And so I just thought that was a really good, I've been sharing that with every woman I know now. I'm like, I had no idea that we should be doing that regularly, and how bad, like not how bad, but just how it can impact. And she kind of explained it. So talk to your GYN about that too, but go slow at first because it can kind of wreck your system for a second, but it's really important, I think, for both systems.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for saying that. I totally forgot. My girls are home. You guys can say hi. You don't have to hide here. So yes, that's something I normally say. So with the fiber, I recommend starting at a quarter of a scoop and then working your way up to a full scoop. If you all of a sudden do one full scoop in your shake, and then you are either bloated or constipated, or, all the can have different effects on people. Like the same product can affect somebody's gut health totally differently. So just work your way up, and you'll probably you'll find a sweet spot. For me, it's about half a scoop, and I just put that in one shake per day, and that's good. But for other people, 2 full scoops is what they need. So just kind of be aware of what you feel. Any other questions or anything? Anybody want to add anything else? Thank you so much, Brenna, for that. Okay, so I am going to stop the recording then.